What is going on, gorgeous people? Thanks for listening to the Thrive Forever Fit show. As you know, I'm your host, Jay Nixon, and today I have got a doozy for you. Today's episode is going to help you with the current state of the world that we live in, and that world is predicated on the craziness, the three-ring circus that is social media. So today's show is designed to help you stay sane and to keep yourself from going 100% nuclear pissed off during our current toxic social media driven madness. Right now, guys, if you go on any social media platform, it is chaos, to say the least. Everybody's an expert. Everybody's a doctor. Everybody's a scientist. Everybody's a this, a that, a something else. When in all reality, all we are is all humans, regardless of titles or perceived titles or made up titles for that matter. So today's episode is going to give you my strategy for how I navigate social media and how I stay out of the weeds. So I'm going to start today's episode with a little something that I think about, and you should think about before you write that pissed off 27-page response or rebuttal to something that you see on social media. Here it is. Getting offended by something posted on social media is like choosing to step in dog shit instead of walking around it. Think about that for a second. If you're walking down the sidewalk and you see dog shit, because let's be honest, I mean, there's some jokers out there that don't pick up their dog shit, right? They're jokers, right? But do you step in the dog shit or do you just walk around it? You walk around it. You never purposefully step in the dog shit. But on social media, you're stepping in dog shit daily. You're getting offended by something that somebody else posted just because it doesn't agree with your belief system, which is totally okay. It's okay not to believe everything. Hell, I don't believe anything I read on social media. That's my stance, is like whatever I consume on social media, I consider it to be bullshit. Just my standard approach. That's how I stay out of the weeds. I also have a meme in my phone. It just makes me laugh. I'm a Will Ferrell fan. And I think it's from like Old School or one of the movies that he did a long time ago. And it's him like with this weird smirk on his face. And the caption reads, "Admit it. You sometimes listen to strangers' conversations and think to yourself, you're a stupid mother beep," right? I think about that all the time. I listen to strangers' conversations and I often have that same thought. I'm like, what? It's social media is no different. I mean, social media is a plethora and a platform for people to say stupid shit on the daily, right? I don't even believe, I hope that people don't even believe half the shit they put on social media. The same thought process, really, guys, I apply to my life, social media world, everywhere. And first of all, my goal is to not consume any nonsense. So I try to stay away from all media platforms. I don't watch TV. I don't listen to traditional radio, and that includes social media. But occasionally, listen, I'm human, I'm normal. Occasionally, I find myself captivated by the three-ring circus that is Facebook. And every time this happens to me, I leave thinking that exact same quote from Will Ferrell. In my hope for a better world, my hope for the beautiful world that I wish we could all live in, the United States of America instead of the divided states of America diminishes each time I read a post. Every time I read something or go on regular social media, like I have some private Facebook groups on social media that are magical places. There's no drama. There's no nonsense. There's no idiocy. There's no there's no craziness, right? So I like those places. My Thrive Forever Fit page, my Wellness Lab Launchpad page. Those are safe, beautiful places where amazing people hang out and do all the things that we do. But when I read a post on regular Facebook, my mind is generally blown. I mean, 99.9% of the time I'm like, huh? Right? So today I decided to do this podcast because I know most of you guys feel the same way that I do. You need better tools and better strategies for handling your trips to the circus. Because let's be honest, I don't care how much, listen, I can't stand media. And I do a beautiful job. I haven't watched the news since 1987. I don't listen to radio where there's like, shock jocks on there talking about their opinions and their whatever. Straight music, usually country music, right? Okay, because I'm a Southern dude. And I even quote a little country song here in a minute, which you're going to love. But I stay away from all that nonsense. But occasionally, because I have some platforms and my business platforms on social media, I find myself on there. And occasionally I'll find myself in the, like I said, in the 3-ring circus, reading some nonsense. And it's just never good for me. So what I call this thought process that I have is the move along mentality. The move along mentality. Meaning if you find yourself in the middle of the 3-ring circus, take a pause, don't step in the dog shit, and get out of the tent as fast as possible. Like, that's my strategy. Whenever I realize that I'm like in the throes of nonsense and I'm like, what am I even reading? I take that pause. I realize that there's dog shit in front of me. I don't step in it. And I get out of the tent. I just move along with my life. I try to get my sanity back. This will save you your sanity, guys, and it will stop you from feeling anxious, depressed, and pissed off. Think about it right now. How do you feel every time you go on social media and you get caught up in that negative feedback loop or that rabbit hole of nonsense? You feel like shit. You feel anxious. You feel depressed. You feel pissed. You get riled up. So I remind myself every time I hear or read something that registers on my WTF meter, like, what? Like every time there's something hits that WTF meter, I remind myself of this thing right here. People can only think, act, and speak from their level of involvement and from their position of perspective. So for me to think that they're going to think, speak, and act from where I'm at, from my level of perspective, from my viewpoint, from my thought processes, from my level of involvement is on me. That's a negative that I'm bringing to the table. So I remove that. And I just say to myself, listen, that person's thinking, speaking, and acting from their level of involvement. It doesn't register with where I'm at from an energy perspective. And so it's like dog shit. I choose not to step in it or get wrapped up in it or consumed by it. And here's that country song I'm talking about. There's a line in a country song that I like right now, and it's simple. It's simple, but so powerful. You can't change a made up mind. And that's so true. You cannot change a made up mind. Remember that the next time that you think you're ranting on Facebook or on social media platforms is going to convert someone over from their current way of thinking to your way of thinking. It's just not going to happen. It's like a Republican trying to convert a Democrat over to their side or vice versa. It's just not going to happen. If somebody hates Donald Trump, they're going to hate Donald Trump regardless of what you say. If someone loves Donald Trump, they're going to love him regardless of what you say. That goes for everything in life right now. We are in such a heightened state of like, if you don't believe in me, you're wrong. And if you're wrong, I will kill you. Like, that's our mentality. I'm like, what? Like, I don't expect people to believe it and think what I think. I hope people don't think what I think, right? Because that would be, people need to have different varying opinions. But the problem is our reaction to those opinions, our reaction to those disagreements. That's the situation. So here's the current state of the world. If you disagree with someone, disagreement or even a slight varying opinion equals this: I hate you. You are the dumbest person on the planet, and now I must destroy you. That's social media. Social media isn't a place for intelligent conversation. It's not a place. It's a place for grandiose, shock level statements that incite emotion and overreaction. That's all it is. Think about it. So you're not having intelligent conversations on social media. I'm talking about the things, right? The things everyone's talking about. There's not intelligent conversation. Because if you disagree with someone, you want to destroy them. You want to step immediately in the dog shit and you want to go to war with that person because you disagree with them. That's why I call it, I think we really do. I think we live in the divided states of America because of social media. So don't get caught up in the keyboard warrior lifestyle. That's the thing. Don't be a keyboard warrior. There's no sense in bullying people online, shaming people online. And this is my thing, right? I think back, like I grew up in a small country. I think the city limit sign said 4,000 people. I question that. I think there was like 500 people. I know there was more than that, but that's what it felt like. But I grew up in a town where, and here's the saying, stop saying things online that you would never say to someone's face. I think about it like this. I haven't lived in that town and gosh, I'm 45 since I was like 18 years old. But where I grew up, if you said some of the shit that you're saying online, you would get yourself a fresh ass whipping. I still think about that to this day. I would never say something online that I would not say to your face. Think about that. Is the stuff you're saying online, would you say that to someone's face? And I know you feel tough right now. You're like, hell yeah, I would. I bet you wouldn't. I bet you wouldn't. Think about that. If you wouldn't say it publicly, like stand on a platform and a stage in front of 1,000 people and say it, or better yet, say it directly to someone's face, 2 feet or 6 feet apart right now. That's the rule now, right? 6 feet apart from somebody, you wouldn't say the shit that you're saying on Facebook, social media. If you wouldn't, stop doing it. Stop being a keyboard warrior, right? That's not the life. That's going to continue the division. Do you really want, if you think about it, do you really want a divided states of America? So the moral is this. Here's how you handle social media. Avoid the dog shit and live a happy life. If you keep stepping in dog shit, your life's not going to be happy. If you avoid the dog shit, it's going to be happy. Here's another thing I was thinking about. I just thought of this. This wasn't even about the show today because I was thinking about the divided states of America. I was telling Lori the other day, I'm like, babe, what's going to happen? Like, this is crazy. Like, I don't get it, man. Like I get I'm very thought provoked in these things. I'm like, what's the resolution? Like, everybody's so pissed at everybody else. And if you don't believe in somebody, you got to hate them and you want to destroy them and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what if we did this? I was like, what if we just cut the country in half? Like, we really divided it because it's divided already. But what if we just like drew a line down the middle? And listen, we'd have to get somebody from like Sweden or Switzerland, like one of the neutral. Isn't Switzerland supposed to be neutral? But if you get somebody from Switzerland to do this, right? They'd have to like do all the analytics and the diagrams and whatever and say, okay, well, here's the amount of land mass here. Here's the amount of land mass there. Who gets Puerto Rico? I don't know, right? How does that fall into place? What about Hawaii? They'd figure all that shit out. And then they divide it, they draw a line. And I'm thinking you'd have to draw a line down the middle. So I've thought a lot about this. You have to draw a line directly down the middle. That way, everybody got a little bit of East Coast, everybody got a little bit of West Coast, so they couldn't bitch. You know, I didn't get East Coast, you got East Coast, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe it goes into a lottery system or maybe just a standard flip of a coin, right? Maybe somebody in Switzerland gets on gets on a public forum and they show the coin and it's validated and it's weighed and it's measured and there's no trickery. There's no, anything like that. Like, who's the most honest person on the planet? I don't even know right now. Mother Teresa's not around. Is the Lama still alive? Dalai Lama? If the Lama's still alive, he probably is. I think the Lama's still alive. How do I not know if the Dalai Lama's still alive? Anyway, we get one of the Lamas, we get like a monk, we get somebody that nobody's going to question. We get somebody that doesn't even know what social media is, right? They've never even been on there. And they're like, okay, what am I doing here? I'm flipping a coin. One side is heads, one side is tails. You know what? You can't do that. You can't do that. We'd have to figure out a better way that. We'll work through those details. But you flip a coin, you do something, and then whatever it lands on, you just get to pick. And you're like, okay, if you think this way, go up here. Or you get to live on this side of the United States. And then if you think this way, you get to live down here. And then we're going to actually build that wall, the wall that T-Rump wants to build. We're going to build that sumbitch right down the middle of the United States. And then that's just it, right? If you decide to go up top, you can never come down below. If you decide to go down below, you can never go up top. And that's just the way it is. And then you wouldn't have to worry about it, right? You wouldn't have to worry about this division. Where does somebody like me go who I don't really have I'm not a political guy. I'm not super, I don't really impose here's my thoughts on life. I want to live my life in a beautiful, constructive, productive way where nothing that I do imposes anything negative on anyone else. I don't take away anybody else's ability to do anything, make money, believe what they want to believe, do whatever it is they want to do. I don't care. As long as your beliefs don't hurt anyone else, don't hurt another human, I don't care what you do. Don't give a shit. And I feel like you should respect me the same way. So I don't know where I go. Maybe I just thought of a new idea. Maybe we get, the people like me, maybe we get like Alaska and Hawaii. And we can kind of go back and forth between those two because they're not really, really connected anyway, right? And people just forget about us. I can just be over there, be like, well, but we wanted Hawaii. I'm like, well, come on, man, give me something, right? Give me something. Let me do something. Let me have something. You can have Puerto Rico. I'll take Hawaii, a little bit of Alaska, right? Alaska's not even really that inhabitable, right? So, we're really not getting much out of that. But what do you think? What do you think about the down the middle, up here, down there? You get to pick, and that way people get to stop fighting. They'd be like, okay, well, you know what? And you're like, Jay, please, we think of something to fight about. That's the whole point of this. all social media has turned into is a fight. It's turned into a division. It's turned into a platform of like, you know, I'm more important than you. What I believe is more important than what you believe. Like saying I can say anything I want on social media with no repercussions. Like, God, I don't know. I've never prescribed to that thought, that train of thought, because I believe there are repercussions. I think the repercussions for everything you think and say and do, you know, even from maybe from a God or a universal perspective, but also from a person to person perspective. Eventually you're going to say the wrong thing to the wrong person, and that's going to create chaos in your life. And if you're anything like me, like one of your life's goals is to avoid chaos, to avoid the dog shit. And so that's the whole moral and the theme of this podcast today, guys. You know the mission of the Thrive Forever Fit Show is to disrupt, inspire, and transform. My goal would be to like try to disrupt this current practice of craziness that we're doing on social media. I mean, hell, I'd rather it go back to cat videos and pictures of your kids' first day of school. Like, I'd rather see that all day long than to see what it is that we're seeing on there, because it's not even fun anymore. I honestly, if I didn't have businesses, if I didn't have like private groups and groups on Facebook where I try to help people and do the things that I do, I wouldn't be on social media. Like, I wouldn't even have a social media account because it's not fun anymore. Like, we've taken the fun out of it, kind of like we do with everything, because we think that if you don't think like I think, that I've got to destroy you. I've gotten this really weird place of that. I don't know. In my 45 years, I never thought that we'd be where we are today. I think I said this on the last podcast or maybe the one before. I thought that this situation was going to be galvanizing. I thought this was going to be an opportunity for us to get better and be better and grow better together. And it's done the exact opposite of what I thought it was going to do. It's actually divided us as humans more than I ever thought possible. And I don't know what the solution is. I mean, I'm looking for islands to go live on that are, you know, maybe just sparsely inhabited, because I think that's the only solution right now. So if you've got an island that you know about, don't post it publicly. Send me a DM. Let me get first dibs on that puppy. Just for, just do the right thing, right? Like, let JJ have it. But anyway, guys, you get the moral, you get the jest. You know me, like, I just want us to be better, man. I want us to be awesome. I believe in living your best life. And some of us right now are not living our best lives. Some of us are not showing up as our best selves right now. We're kind of showing up as a clan mentality of like, destroy anything and everything that doesn't fit inside of your little box. You got to understand, we're a bunch of people made up of a bunch of different boxes of shape, size, colors, and everything else. And that's the beauty of the world that we get to live in. And why on earth would you want everybody to believe what you believe? Like, I don't try to prescribe that you believe anything that I believe. I want you to believe what you believe. I want you to have your thoughts and your opinions and your life and the places and spaces and the things that you enjoy. They don't need to be mine. And I don't infringe on those from you. And that's my only ask, is you don't infringe on those for me. That should be our mentality. I know what you're thinking right now. Jay Nixon for president. I get it. My last name, though, kind of skews me a little bit. The whole Nixon thing. I mean, we're still there's that whole Watergate thing pops up every time, right? So I'm probably not your guy, and I'll be honest with you. You wouldn't want me running your country. And I wouldn't take it. Couldn't give me enough money. Couldn't give me anything in the world to do what we asked these people to do. It just wouldn't have anything to do with it. So I appreciate the write-in votes. I appreciate the thoughts. Thank you, but I'm going to decline. So guys, that's the show for today. The moral is this. I'm going to leave you with a strong point, and then we're going to get out of here. And remember that I love you. Remember, we got to take care of each other. Remember to be your best self. Remember to be better each and every single day. If you're not a part of my Wellness Lab Launchpad, you're like, Jay, well, you're about to tell me to join a free Facebook group after you talk shit about Facebook? And the answer is yes, I am. Because the Wellness Lab Launchpad is a safe space with amazing people. And when you're hearing this, you're going to be hearing this on a Monday or Tuesday. If you're hearing it on Monday, today I just started a brand new free training in the Wellness Lab Launchpad called Mindset Revolution. We need this now more than ever, guys. So we need a mindset revolution. It's going to start on Monday, July the 20th, and go all the way through Saturday, July, I think the 25th or 26th. Get over there, join that free group, get involved in the mindset revolution. Not going to cost you a penny. It's going to help you transform and get you where it is you need to go. Love each other. And most importantly, don't step in the dog shit. All right. I'll see you later. Love you. Bye.